Hey guys, welcome to Keys Moths. This is David. I'm here with my kids.
Yep.
I'm Sophia.
Lorenzo.
They're growing up, guys. I know when we started our channel, they were just a little bit smaller. We made our way down to the Florida Keys on a family vacation, and we were actually stopped when we got off the turnpike. We're getting on to US 1 because traffic was blocked up because US 1 was shut down because there was a fire in the 20-mile stretch in between Card Sound Road and US 1. And guys, I just wanted to just chat with you guys real quick about this thing. You know, that we were stuck for a couple hours before they were able to get US 1 opened up for traffic to come in and out. And this fire actually consumed a lot of this wetland that wasn't so wet, and that's why there was fire spread so much. We haven't had rain in weeks down here in South Florida, and they're still investigating what started the fire. But the fire is right in that real sensitive area, right just north of where we do our moth research in Key Largo, just south of Homestead, Florida City area, in that 20-mile stretch. So that habitat, guys, is really, it's a lot of sawgrass, it's mangroves, it's there's a lot of, it's kind of like wasteland because there's a lot of exotics, there's a lot of Brazilian pepper, there's a lot of Australian pines all over the place, and so that land, it's not really into the wildlife refuge yet. I think it's South Florida Water Management, if I recall correctly, but Card Sound Road and US 1 were both shut down for multiple days, and so this fire was raging, and because we had no water, you know, there was a lot of fire damage there. Guys, what did you think about that fire? It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. It was a lot more than I thought it would be because we saw it from pretty far away.
Yeah.
But we were driving and it just went on, like it kept going. And I wasn't expecting it to be that big.
Yeah.
It smelled really good though.
Yeah. So coming into the Keys, we were actually able to pass some of the burning fires on both sides of the road on US 1, and so we spent 3 nights in the Keys. Leaving the Keys, 3.5 days later, the fires were still not completely put out. I mean, the guys were still working on it. There was firemen everywhere working on putting out the fires. And so, a lot of times these controlled burns are fires that are necessary for habitats to survive and propagate. Like every time you have our pinelands down here in the south, they need to go through prescribed burns every now and then so that they don't get overcome by hardwood hammock trees. But this wasn't one of those situations. This was more like sawgrass stuff for the most part, and there was just a lot of fuel because as long as I've lived in South Florida, I don't recall fire ever burning in that part of Florida. I mean, there's plenty of fires out in the Everglades, but this was bad, dude. There was US 1, they have some news crews out there. They got some pretty cool footage of these fires burning at night, and it just wasn't safe to drive, so they had those roads shut down for long periods of time. So as in terms of like the species that could have been infected, obviously there's plenty of common species that would live out there. We have our sawgrass skippers and Euphes berryi, some of our other skippers that might live out there. It is a habitat where the Georgia satyr lived at one point. I haven't seen it there in like 20 years, but it's a butterfly that is pretty tough to find in South Florida, and the little metal mark and stuff like that. But it's really not like a habitat that has a whole lot of rarities. So I don't believe the fire ever got to any of the hardwood hammocks where it's burning up any like shell swallowtail habitat or anything like that. And none of the Florida leafwing habitat got burned up either. So, that's just one of those things. The fire is still going on. We just drove by it this morning, and there was still some smoldering, and they were still working on it. So, but that was pretty interesting stuff. We just wanted to give you guys an update. We'll probably share with you guys what that looks like over the next few months, and I'll be going back down over the summer, and we'll take a look in there and see how fast that habitat recovers after some fires. So guys, thanks for being here.
Of course.
I roped them in just so that you Keys Moths audience could see my kids growing up. They're not in a lot of our videos these days, but guys, thanks for being in the video with me.
Of course, Dad.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care. Let's get out there and enjoy South Florida. Bye now.